In today's story, tensions inside the 1000 LB Sisters family have once again taken center stage, sparking intense debate among fans and viewers across social media. Tammy Slaton is now facing widespread backlash after a heated moment in which she reportedly walked away from a confrontation with her sister Amy Slaton, following what many viewers describe as deeply hurtful remarks. What has upset fans the most is not just what was said, but what didn't happen afterward: accountability. As audiences continue to follow the emotional journey of the Slaton sisters, this latest incident has raised serious questions about responsibility, personal growth, and the fragile dynamics of family relationships under the pressure of reality television. The incident that sparked outrage. During a recent episode, tensions between Tammy and Amy reached a boiling point. The sisters, who have long struggled with communication and emotional wounds, became locked in a conversation that quickly turned uncomfortable. According to viewers, Tammy made several remarks that came across as dismissive and cruel toward Amy, comments that appeared to minimize Amy's efforts, emotions, and struggles. Amy, visibly hurt, attempted to explain her feelings and express why Tammy's words were painful. Instead of engaging in the conversation or offering any form of apology, Tammy chose to walk away. That moment, brief but powerful, has since become the focal point of intense criticism. Fans react. Walking away is not growth. Almost immediately after the episode aired, social media platforms were flooded with reactions. Many fans expressed frustration, stating that Tammy's behavior showed a lack of emotional maturity. One common sentiment echoed across comment sections was simple: walking away without accountability is not growth, it's avoidance. Viewers pointed out that Tammy has repeatedly spoken about personal change, therapy, and becoming a better person. However, critics argue that true growth requires facing uncomfortable conversations, especially when someone has caused harm. For many fans, Tammy's exit from the conversation felt like a refusal to take responsibility. Amy's position: the quiet pain. While Tammy has often been the louder and more confrontational of the two sisters, Amy's response stood in stark contrast. Amy appeared emotional, subdued, and deeply affected by the exchange. Fans noted that Amy has historically played the role of caretaker, not just physically, but emotionally, often absorbing Tammy's anger while attempting to keep peace within the family. In this moment, however, Amy seemed exhausted. Many viewers expressed sympathy, stating that Amy has grown significantly over the years, balancing motherhood, health struggles, and family loyalty. To them, Tammy's remarks felt especially unfair, given how much Amy has supported her sister during her darkest moments. The accountability question. At the heart of the controversy lies one key issue: accountability. Critics argue that Tammy's choice to walk away was not an act of self-control, but rather an escape from responsibility. While stepping away from conflict can sometimes be healthy, fans believe the situation required acknowledgement, reflection, and a sincere apology. Mental health advocates online have also weighed in, noting that emotional regulation includes recognizing when one's words have caused harm and addressing it directly. Without that step, many feel that Tammy's progress remains incomplete. A pattern or a setback? This incident has also reopened discussion about Tammy's past behavior. Longtime viewers recall similar moments in earlier seasons, where Tammy would lash out verbally and later avoid consequences. Some fans see this as a recurring pattern rather than a one-time lapse. Others, however, urge caution, reminding audiences that personal growth is not linear. They argue that Tammy's journey has involved immense physical, emotional, and psychological challenges, and setbacks are inevitable. Still, the consensus among critics remains firm: growth must include accountability. The pressure of reality television. It's also important to consider the environment in which these moments occur. Reality television amplifies conflict, often capturing people at their most vulnerable. Being filmed during emotionally charged family discussions can intensify reactions and limit space for private resolution. However, viewers argue that once such moments are broadcast publicly, public reaction becomes unavoidable, especially when one party appears hurt and unheard. Where does this leave the sisters? As of now, there has been no public statement from Tammy addressing the backlash directly. Amy has also remained quiet, choosing not to escalate the situation publicly. Fans are now watching closely to see whether Tammy will eventually acknowledge her actions, either on the show or through social media. For many, the next step matters more than the argument itself. Final thoughts. The relationship between Tammy and Amy Slaton has always been complex, built on love, resentment, dependency, and shared trauma. This latest moment serves as a reminder that healing is not just about physical transformation, but emotional responsibility as well. Walking away may end an argument, but it doesn't resolve the hurt. Amy slammed for walking away after saying mean things to Amy, not taking accountability at all. A fresh wave of criticism has emerged around 1000 LB Sisters star Tammy Slaton after a controversial moment reignited long-standing concerns about accountability, emotional responsibility, and unresolved family conflict. Viewers are now questioning whether Tammy's transformation journey has focused too heavily on physical milestones, while leaving emotional accountability behind. The incident in question has become a defining moment for many fans, who believe it reflects deeper, unresolved issues rather than a single disagreement. What viewers saw on screen. The confrontation unfolded during what was expected to be a routine family interaction. Instead, it quickly evolved into a tense exchange marked by sharp language and emotional distance. Tammy's remarks toward Amy were widely interpreted as dismissive and unnecessarily harsh. Rather than engaging in dialogue or acknowledging the emotional impact of her words, Tammy chose to physically remove herself from the situation. This decision, captured clearly on camera, has since become the focal point of viewer backlash. Why this moment hit different? According to fans, this incident stands out because of timing. Tammy has recently received praise for her weight loss progress and increased independence. Many viewers expected this growth to reflect emotional maturity as well. When it didn't, disappointment replaced support. Fans argue that this was not a moment of being overwhelmed. It was a moment that required accountability, especially given Tammy's history of strained interactions with Amy. The power dynamic between the sisters. Observers have long noted an imbalance in the Slaton sisters' relationship. Tammy's strong personality often dominates conversations, while Amy tends to retreat emotionally to avoid escalation. In this exchange, Amy attempted to speak calmly, but her effort was met with withdrawal rather than resolution. Critics say this reinforces a familiar pattern where Amy is left to process emotional fallout alone. For many viewers, Tammy walking away symbolized control rather than self-protection. Public response. Support turning into skepticism. Online discourse has shifted noticeably. While Tammy once enjoyed overwhelming public support for her recovery journey, that support now appears more conditional. Fans are no longer asking whether Tammy is capable of change, but whether she is willing to accept responsibility when confronted with harm she causes. Commentators emphasize that accountability does not require perfection, but it does require acknowledgement. Accountability versus boundaries. Some supporters have defended Tammy, suggesting that walking away was an attempt to set boundaries. However, critics strongly disagree, drawing a distinction between boundaries and avoidance. Mental health professionals commenting online explained that boundaries are communicated clearly and respectfully, often before harm occurs. Walking away after delivering hurtful remarks, they argue, undermines that defense. This distinction has fueled ongoing debate.